Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, Scott. Welcome to Twilight Inscription. I've done my best to learn this game. We've done that over on Patreon. If you want to watch those videos, obviously go and check out the Patreon. I'm going to do a very quick, as best I can, talk through. I'm still learning some of the rules, so we might struggle with some of those, but I'll do my best to talk through it and then we'll get into the game. I suspect it's one of those where playing the game makes it a little bit more obvious than flow through of the rules. Let's talk about what we've got. Over here on the left hand side we have the Mecha Toll Rex. I'm going to call this MR for short because I keep pronouncing it incorrectly. We have this board. This is essentially the AI board. Best thing to know about Mecha Toll Rex is that it was kind of the center of the empire, and then it fell, and when it fell everybody receded back to their own locations, their own home planets, and they're now starting to come back. People want to take control of MR. If you're the first to take it, you get 7 victory points. That's what this symbol is, and you get 3 votes. That's what that symbol is. You're going to write your name in here. It's us against the AI. If the AI gets it first, we'll write AI in there. AI doesn't get victory points. We're going to be trying to score against a rating of points. Then we have the rest of the AI board. We've got votes. We've got war skill, we've got votes, we've got how they're doing on navigation, how they're doing on industry, how they're doing on warfare, and how they're doing on expansion. We're going to be rolling these dice. So I'll just roll these very quickly. And on these dice, what we're going to get is, we'll move the black ones away because we don't need those, we're going to get symbols. We are then going to use this lovely orange marker to cross off one of the symbols, or each of the symbols that they've rolled. That's how they progress up the track. If they are better than us, they win, essentially, or we lose, more specifically. So that's how those dice work. We've then got the black dice. They're going to be the ones that we're going to be using to mark off things on our sheets. We may be able to use the coloured dice as time goes on. We may be able to unlock those as we get stronger and become more self-sufficient as an empire and as a civilization. What else happens is we draw one of these cards at the very top here. I'm going to turn this over, and you can see this is the fledgling empire, and this tells you what to do. It's a strategy card. We check the active sheets and spend card resources. Choose the active sheet. We roll the dice, and then we spend dice resources. So when we turn this card over, you can see there's 2 symbols here. They match the symbols on the dice. We're going to get to spend those on our cards. We're going to keep working our way through this stack of cards at the top here. There'll be some that are strategy, which show you resources. There'll be some that are production phases. There'll be council phases, which is where you vote, and there'll be finally warfare phases. There's a warfare in each of the 2, 3, and 4, and I think 5 sort of ages, I think I'll call them, as we go. Let's talk about our civilization, shall we? So we've chosen someone that we can't really speak. I chose them at random. This is the Vulraith Cabal. Devour is their special ability, but they do have on the back just some writing. So I'm just going to read that. Throughout the galaxy, there are persistent myths of terrible monsters, creatures that dwell outside the physical world. The details vary, but the core is the same. They are demons, evil, and merciless beyond imagination. As the repercussions of the Mahact tearing a hole in the reality continues to reverberate, the galaxy is learning how accurate those myths are. Scientists have long theorized that the universe is one of many, and that within a multiverse of possible realities, there may be some that are truly bizarre and even outright hostile. The Vuil'Raith are from one such alternate reality, a universe of gnashing teeth and that reaches into this world through the wound left behind from the Archeon Gate. The Vuil'Raith are highly varied, from smaller than a finger to ravenous void-born creatures, the size of the Dreadnaught. Their ruling cabal is comprised of Vuil'Raith ruthless and terrifying enough to compel obedience from legions of followers, including desperate cultists among the civilizations native to the universe. The awakening of the Mahact already spells peril for the galaxy, but the coming Vulraith may yet prove an even more dire consequence. Right, so that's us. This is what we look like. Little bit freaky, I'm not going to lie, but we have a special ability. When you claim a planet, we'll talk about that in a second, asset, when you claim a planet asset, or win a war, draw one captive icon, that's this, we'll draw this on our sheet, on each sheet, on any sheet, sorry. Each sheet can have up to 5 captive icons. Each captive icon can be spent, crossed out, as one material or one research on its sheet. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then we've got this Rift Meld, which is when we use a faction ability. Either build one space dock or draw a total 3 captive icons on any sheet. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. That's pretty much everything. These cards here are the votes. We're gonna take 2. One we're going to put above this speaker card, one we're going to put below, and then whoever's got the most votes, that's what's going to be enacted. It's going to be easier to see that than talk through it. Let's talk about board, shall we? We have this board here. This is the navigation board. So this is the top left. So you can see they've got little names down here. So when we're talking about them, you know which ones we're talking about. So we've got navigation. Now this is where we're exploring the galaxy. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the dice. So let's assume we rolled one of these and one of these. Okay. So what you can see in the top left corner is it says if you roll a resource, which is this one, or a material, I think it is, or a research, you can explore one adjacent system. What that's going to mean is from this orange planet down here, which is our home planet, we're going to draw a line. So we could just draw a line from here to here for one of these. Then with these ones, we can claim a planet. So if we were here, we could circle this and we get this resource, or we could circle this, we get 2 victory points. We could circle this. This is a relic. Relics are cards that give you additional powers. And that's pretty much it for this board. We're going to be navigating around trying to find it. There's a couple of other things. There is a gravity drive technology. So if we get 3 research, we can cross this out, or one of these symbols. These are kind of next level resources. We can cross these out, and that will allow us to use the wormhole. So there's a wormhole here. We could jump from here over to here. So one of our goals is to get MR up in this top left corner. All of these boards can be different. So one of our goals is going to be to get that. The other thing we've got here is an integrated economy per active. Claim up to 2 small explored systems. So we can claim these little ones if we wanted to. And again, one larger resource or 3 research. That's it for that board. That's all we're doing on that board. This game, when I saw it, it looked so confusing. Once we've got into it, it's maybe not too bad, although there's still a few rules that are a little bit wonky for me. Next, we've got warfare. There's always going to be a war. You can't play a completely peaceful game. The way this works is over on the left-hand side, you have the units you can build. So if we spend any one of the resources, we can put 1 dot on this section of the board. I'll talk about this in a second, and that will be an infantry. If we spend 2 of the what's it called? Loyalty? No. Commerce? No. Hold on. Influence. That's what it's called. Sorry. These are influence tokens. If we get 2 influence tokens, we can build a PDS, which is, as you can see, 4 dots. Cruiser. You can see here we get victory point for a cruiser, plus we get the 3 line. This Dreadnought we can only build if we've unlocked this symbol, and we can build these for 2 material and 1 research and get 2 victory points. And then a War Sun, we have to get this symbol and we can draw this. Now the way we draw this is these bottom sections down here where these dotted lines are. This is kind of an era. So our war in the first era will be taking account anything underneath this dotted line. And we're going to be drawing our units in here. Now the way it works against the AI is if you're playing a multiplayer game, you fight your left neighbour and your right neighbour, and you put your score based on anything this side of this middle line, and your score anything this side. Your score is based on how many dots or nodes you populate. So we're going to be filling this up. They can cross lines, so I could put 1 here. It has to start on the bottom line, but I could put maybe 2 infantry here and then a cruiser going up this way, which you can flip and rotate and all of those things. So we can kind of cross over multiple lines here. But we're going to tally up our score from the left to score from the right, and against the AI, we're going to take the total number of where their X's are on this board, and that's going to be their strength. We're going to have to fight 2 wars against them. Unlikely that we're going to win both, but you never know. So that's the warfare board. Again, pretty straightforward. A couple of other things. Fleet logistics. During each war, add 3 strength if there is at least 2 non-infantry units deployed entirely within this box. So you can add extra strength if you build some of these things in here. And then transit diodes, deploy 2 infantry. Each infantry may be adjacent to another, must be adjacent to another unit. They can be deployed below the deployment line. So if you had something that you needed to achieve, you can still populate these things. Okay, next we have expansion. That's up here. So first things first, for expansion, we must have an explored and claimed planet icon. So these planets here. And then if we go back to expansion, apologize for the glare. These are obviously shiny because they're easy clean. Not that easy clean, but so each one of these planets, let's assume that we took a planet. We can do a couple of things. We can spend a planet icon to get a space dock. If we unlock a space dock, that means on one of our sheets we can mark the dice icon, and then we can use that dice. You can see here we've got red, blue and green. If let's assume we used a planet to claim this one, we'd get the green die. I could then mark on this, and every time we roll that green die, we can use that result on this sheet specifically. But let's assume we claimed a planet. What we're looking to do is fill up rows and columns, and as we fill those up, we'll get rewards. Just to talk about more icons, this is population. It's going to increase our population track down the left-hand side here, getting us more victory points. We've got the special resources. We'll talk about those. There's 4 of them, so you can see there's some dotted around here. And then we've got the Dreadnought. The Dreadnaught icon is somewhere on here, I think, possibly. But that's down here on the war sheet. We'll have a look at that in a second. And if we get a Dreadnaught icon, we can, yeah, that is the Dreadnaught icon. We can then build a Dreadnaught. I don't know if you have to have multiple Dreadnaughts to be able to build multiple, or if you just have one. I'm not sure how it works. And then we've got the War Sun, which is this one here. Again, we fill this in, we can build a War Sun. Pretty strong in terms of what it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dots, which is pretty strong in a war. This is it. This is everything this sheet does. A couple of other things we can do is self-assembly routines, cross out 1 unclaimed asset, so that's anything around the outside that you haven't claimed, to unlock on an unlocked planet, to cross out any 2 resources there. So obviously we could cross out this because we don't want to claim it, to be able to put 2 in here and claim this one potentially if we had a full row. And then per activation on each unlocked planet, cross out 1 material or 1 influence in a row or column that has a planet population asset, so we can try and increase our population, get more points. Last one is industry. So industry looks probably the worst out of all of them. It's not too bad. So what we've got over here is our industry sort of production. And what you can see is each one of these symbols, for the most part, is a commodity. These blue ones, these red ones, these yellow ones. But then you've got some other symbols dotted in here. You've got an extra die. You've got a councillor. We'll talk about that in a second. You've got more councillors over here. You might have relics. You might have war suns. Over here, you've got some of the other things as well. We can spend a war sun relic to be able to or a special commodity to be able to get some of these things, or a war sun to be able to get these things. These ones are worth 2. So we're going to be marking these off. We can spend dice or other symbols from elsewhere to mark these off. However, this is a scrap symbol. If we were to claim something, which you do with a green dice or a research, you put a circle around it. You cannot put a circle unless it's adjacent to a scrap symbol. So let's assume I wanted this blue one of these blue ones. I could obviously circle this one, but let's assume I've taken this. Let's assume I wanted one of these ones. I'd have to put an X in either this box or this box or this box to be able to circle this one. So you can only ever circle next to a scrap. What else have we got? The AI development algorithm. While active, you can claim spaces adjacent to at least 3 scrap symbols for 3. So if we put in lots of scrap symbols, we can then claim the adjacent ones. And then we've got this one, psychocardiology. No, psychocardiology. Who knows? Psychoarchaeology, that's it. Choose any space that contains a councillor symbol and either scrap it or claim it. So if we use 3 of these, we can just claim these, which is going to be votes. This is where we track our votes. So every time we get a vote, we'll be putting one in here. But every time we get a councillor, we'll be marking this. And the game will specifically tell us when to move them from this to here. Then we have this track. So every time we cross off one of these symbols on any board, we can mark one of these off. It might just be on this board, I'll have to check. You can mark one of these off. If you get all of these down here in a row, you get the reward. This is trade goods. These essentially are wildcards. You can cross this off to use it as any icon. So you can see there's 1 yellow one down here, then we need all 3 here, then we need these 1 here to not get anything, then we need this. You're working from left to right. When we get to here, we'll get the 1 victory point, and then we keep going this way to get more. And that is it. That's it. If we get these better resources, we can scrap and select more icons on this board. But that's it. At the end of the game, we're going to be tallying up our score. Just to talk about our score, can't see all of these cards, but we've got some other objectives. If we get these first, we get the left-hand victory points. If we don't, we flip it over, we get a lower victory point. But you can see here, claim 5 planet systems on navigation. We have cross out all resource icons on 3 planets. We have scrap 10 spaces on the industry board, and then build 6 non-infantry units. So we're going to get victory points. We're trying to score as many victory points as possible. That's it. I'm going to put a quick cut in here. We'll be back. We'll dive into the first hand. I do think this game looks terrifying. Once you've got it to the table and played it, it does make a bit more sense. And we will use this, this card to begin with. So we'll be right back. Okay. Hello. We're back. So apologies if you hear some background noise. I live fairly close to a school, and it's lunch break for those children. So lots of screaming going on. So if you hear that in the background, I do apologise. Right, we've turned over our first card. It is the Fledgling Empire card. I'm just going to tuck it over here. The first thing we do is we get to spend these 2 resources. So this is influence, but what we have to do is decide on an active board. That active board can then be used for other things. Now, ultimately, we could use it. Really, you want to be exploring, getting planets and stuff. We could use this to explore over here. The problem with it is that we're only going to get these 2 commodities if we were to do it. So there's not a huge benefit to us doing it until we can get planets and stuff. And we're using the claim action rather than the explore action, which is what we need to draw these lines in. We could start building our war equipment. That might not be the worst shout. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cross these out down here. I'll just zoom in so you can see. I won't zoom in too often, but you can see I've crossed out these 2. And I'm going to, over this side, I'm going to put a circle around this one. Draw a line and put a dot here. Draw a line and put a dot here. And then draw a line and put a dot here. We now have 4 defense on this left-hand side, which will get us a green die if we win this war. So really, really useful to start powering up what we're doing. That's us done with this top card. As I say, I won't zoom in too often. That's us done with this top card. Now, we roll all of the dice. And what we'll do first of all, I will zoom in the first few times we do this. You can see that these are the results of the coloured dice. These are the focus dice. So in this instance, they have a blue symbol here, just 1, so we're going to cross that off. They have a green one down here, so we're going to cross that off. They're working their way towards MR. And then they've got this double, which is this one here, so they're working their way towards navigation. That's their turn. That's all the AI does. We can put these out of the way. But then we also rolled these dice. I'll tuck these in the middle here so you can see them. We also rolled these dice over here. So a material, research, and a material. We can use these on this board. That's the only place we can use them. So in this instance, we could start working our way towards a cruiser, which would be quite nice. Just to highlight, we circled a victory point down here. So that victory point will go towards our total at the end of the game. Now, I think we go and start building a cruiser. So that's 2 of these 2. So I can put these out of the way. We've spent those 2. That leaves us just a research now. Really, the places I can use them, I can't use them down here because I don't have anything. I could start going for these, which could be pretty strong, but I'm actually going to do transit diodes. I'm going to cross you off and cross you off. I think you can do this multiple times because it's per activation. But we'll start. Oh, hold on, I've added an extra one. I'm cheating already. We'll cross one of those off. We'll tuck this over here out of the way. That's the first round of the game done. I'm not sure if it's a round or whatever it is, but we're going to be working through Act 1 to 5 of these cards, differing numbers of cards. The next one is Echoes of the Past. This one's got 1 of each symbol on, so we're going to choose where we're going. I think in this instance, we're going to go to the navigation board, and we will spend 1 each of these symbols. So we've got 2 explore, and then we've got 1 claim. It feels like we need a planet. So I'm going to go up this way. That's 1 explore. I'm also going to go down this way. This is a relic symbol. We're going to be able to claim a relic, which has victory points on, but also has strength things on there as well. And then we're going to claim this planet here. We don't do anything with it, but we've got that in our locker ready to use. Right, that's that. We're going to roll the dice again. Here we go. Apologies if these dice make a load of noise. They're chunky dice. Okay. So the 3 symbols we rolled are a green, getting closer to Mechatol Rex. We've got a long way to go to get there. It's over here. Best thing we can do is get grav drives and then jump. But that seems unlikely at this moment in time. 2 of these, and then 1 war. So they're up to 2 strength on the war front. Okay, we get to spend these symbols. No, we don't. We get to spend these symbols over here, which are 2 influence and an explore. So 2 claims and explore. So let's claim this. So I can tuck this one out of the way, and that's that done. So we get to choose the top relic card, which is Planetary Orbital. You may play this relic at the end of any round for each space dock you have built. Cross out the next commodity of any type in the industry chart, then build 1 space dock and deploy 1 war sun. What? You may play this relic at the end of any round. For each space dock you have built, cross out the next commodity of the influence track of any type, so I can cross out 1 of these, then build 1 space dock, so I can choose to build 1 of these, and then deploy 1 war sun. That seems huge. There are deploy rules. We do have to be adjacent to something else when we're deploying those things. That's huge. The other thing we do is, because we've claimed this, we write a 4 in here because that's how many victory points it was worth at the end of the game. We'll remember we've got that. So the other thing we've done, when you claim a planet asset, win a war, draw 1 captive icon on any sheet. Each sheet can have up to 5 captive icons. Each captive can be spent, crossed out, for a material or a research. I am quite tempted to see if I can get gravity drive and get over here, because if we can use this jump gate, we can get over here, and then we're 2 away from that. So I think I am going to draw a captive symbol. Then I'm going to cross it out. That looks the same. And then I'm going to mark off 1 of these. So that's our thing, because we claimed this planet. That's us done with those symbols, I think. Have I done everything? Yeah, I think so. I think we've... Hold on, have I done everything? We claimed here, and we claimed here. I've got 1 explore left, right? I don't know how the exploring of this works. I think you just I don't know whether you draw, I'm guessing you draw a line to it. You can explore, so your explore will be one action, so I can't do that right now. Okay, I'm going to go up this way with my, oh, I can't get any more planets unless I go from here to here. Still can't get any planets. I'm going to go up this way. Okay, that's us done. End of that round. We take the next card. The next card is strategy, and it's free material, so let's tuck that up there. We need to choose where we're spending those. We could start working on a planet. We could start working on votes also. Okay, let's start. I mean, all we can do is cross things out on here. I don't know whether that's wise. We could come back over here. I'm just going to cross this out. This should be our captive symbol. But I'm just going to write C on here and put a line through it to know that we've done it. Okay. So I could come back to warfare and continue building our army, which will get us a cruiser over on this side, which I think is important. And we can start working towards another one, plus get some infantry for the next line, which might be important. So we're going to do the warfare board again. We're spending 3 of these, so we'll cross this one out. And we'll put a cruiser in. I'm going to put that cruiser here. Then we've got 2 more. I'm going to spend 2 of these on the next one. We get 1 victory point for this. That's us done with that card. We have to roll the dice. Okay, what have we got? We have a research. Oh my god, I'm never going to get there. We have 1 of these, so they've got extra votes. And they've got 1 of these, so they're moving along navigation. Okay, that's those done. And for us, on our warfare sheet, we have 1 of each, which is not great. I can cross this out to get the next one of these, and I think I will. I'm going to put it here. Okay, so we've now got 3 in this side as well. Their war strength is currently 2. So we might come across a war fairly soon. So that's, what was that one? That was this one spent. We can do another bit of research. I think we'll do you. And then we can do an infantry, which I think I will put here. We're 3 away from having done this one already, which is quite nice. So let's tuck these out of the way. That's me done, and we go to the next card. A war would be great. We've got another strategy. It's got a research icon on it, just the one. Okay. I think we start doing things over here. So we're going to do activate our industry, and we're going to circle this because it's next to one of these. When we circle this, I get to cross this off. That gives us 1 trade good down here, which is quite nice. Now we roll all of the dice. Okay, 1 each for this guy. So 1 is up to 3 strength in the war. 1 of these up to 2 votes. And 1 research is 2 away from Metacal Rex. It's worth 7 victory points if we get it first. And 3 votes. That's bad news. Don't know if the AI scores the votes or not. This is not great either because we've got, oh, maybe it's not too bad because we get to claim twice and scrap once over here. So we have to do things on here. I'm going to claim using this councillor. Councillor at the bottom here. When we add votes, we're going to add our 2 votes in over here. So we're level on votes at this moment in time. Oh no, we start with 2, so we're ahead on votes. Then it's a faction action over here we could start working towards. We've got another claim, so I'm going to claim, doesn't really matter what I claim. I'm going to claim you and start heading out in this direction. And I get to cross something off. I'm going to cross off going to cross off you, I think. And we'll start heading in this direction as well. Okay, so that's this done. We're done here. We move on to the next one. The next one is production. Claim trade goods on industry for each unlock. So we've just got the one, so we get to put a circle around here. We can use this as any resource on an active board. That's that card done. Nothing else happens over here. I don't believe we roll the dice. Doesn't say to roll the dice, so I think we're done. Okay, next we have the council. Claim 1 vote on industry. So we've got 2 here. So we can put this one and this one. Sorry, that was the worst circle. We've got 4 votes. They've got 2 votes, but they also roll a die. So we have to decide how we're voting, and then they roll a die, which could come into effect. So the way this works is we take 2 cards from this section. We look to see if there's a little star icon next to this. There isn't. So we tuck this one under here, like so. I'll bring these up this way a little bit so you can see them. And then we'll zoom in. And then we take another one looking for a star. So this one has a star, and we tuck this under here. So now when we place this card, we've got the top pass. On expansion, each player chooses 5 unclaimed victory point assets on the population track, which you can't see, but that would be this track over here, and crosses them out. They may still be claimed to access higher victory points, but you score 0 for them, or the fail, which is the positive because it's got the little star on. On expansion, each player may cross out 1 resource icon on each space dock, so we'll get closer to doing those. So we have we have 4 votes, they have 2. We need to grab the instructions, because in here under council it tells us what they do. So on the AI, there's only 2 pages for the solo rules, and on here it says if you roll a material, there's 0 extra votes. If you roll a an influence, there's 1, and if you roll 2, there's if you roll a research, it's 2. So we're adding to their total as we go. I think I'm going to commit 3 votes to this, and that's it. Oh no, that gives them. I'm going to commit 4. Fine. I'm going to cross off all of our votes here, and we're going to roll this die. We got a thing which is 0, so we've overspent on that, but we get to do the one with the little star on it. So on expansion, each player may cross out 1 resource icon on each space dock. So we can cross out this, this, and this. Perfect. That's that round done. See, the council isn't that bad, right? We'll move these to the side. We're due a war. We have strategy, which is 3 of these. Now, where do we want to put these, I wonder? Where do we want to put these? Exploration, I think, is probably wise, but until we get the grav drive, it doesn't really help us a huge amount. But maybe these planets, we can claim a planet. Let's do up here. Okay, so we're going to do expansion. So we're going to put 3 things. So we're going to cross out our planet icon, because we've claimed it, and then we're going to claim a planet. So just seeing what this one's a tiny little one and could give us some nice rewards, not amazing. This one's got a war sun on, as has this. Okay, I'm going to take Graal over here. So we're claiming this planet. We've got 3 of these. If I mark off these, I'm getting towards a Dreadnought, which is quite nice. If I mark off this, I'm getting towards another vote for later on. But a Dreadnought for the next stage of war might be good. You know what? Let's do it. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So we're working our way towards this one. We roll the dice. Okay. So, oh god, he's even closer, I think, is he? Yeah, yeah. He has now reached Mechatol Rex, which means he gets his name written in here. and he scores 7 victory points. Basically, that just means we get less. I don't know if he gets the votes. We'll have to have a look at that, actually. Okay, so we get, he also gets one of these, and he also gets one of these. Working his way closer, what do we get over here? We get 2 of these and 1 of these to spend on this board. So we can mark off this one, which gets us a Dreadnought symbol to spend. So that's 1 of these gone. I could mark off towards another one of these space docks. Do I want to do that? Or do I start working my way up one of these? I'm going to cross off this one for this symbol. And I'm going to cross off this one for this symbol. Let's start filling in a planet. Okay, that's that done. I've got 2 things to check. I need to check if a Dreadnought symbol you only use once. I'm guessing you do. You need an extra Dreadnought every time you do this, would be my assumption. I can build a Dreadnought for just having a symbol, but I don't know if I need a symbol and another symbol to build it. And the other thing is, does the AI get votes when it claims Mechatol Rex? That's all we're going to go and check. I'm guessing not because of this, but we'll go and just check it. And then we will... Oh, you know what? No, I did roll the dice. I was going to say, you know what we didn't do is roll the dice when we were doing the vote, but we did it. Right, we'll put a pause in here. I'll go and check those things and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and I've got the 2 rules definitions. So bottom 2 types of units on the war board, the War Sun and the Dreadnought. Players cannot start building until they have spent the speciality asset next to the icon to cross that asset out. So I'm going to cross this off. And we're going to cross this off in preparation for doing it. If we have another one, we can build one of these for free, in inverted commas. The other thing, what was the other thing I was checking? I was checking about whether the AI gets the votes. If the goal is the Mechatol Rex, the speaker writes AI faction on top of my sheet. The AI faction does not gain anything from achieving goals. So he's just stopping us because he's mean. Okay. We've done all the dice rolls. I think we turn over the next card. The next card is War. What is it good for? Okay, I feel like I've fluffed this up somewhat. Okay, so with War, we total our scores. I've absolutely balls this up. We total our scores down here. So what you can see is we've got 1, I'll zoom in, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dots, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dots. So this side we've got a score of 4. This side we've got a score of 4. However, if we go and check the AI board, they have a war score of 4. So we're going to cross the rest of these out. But it's 4 versus 4, and in that instance, nobody gets anything. So if we'd have put an extra 1 in here, we'd have got an extra die, and we'd have unlocked a planet. Huge that we fluffed that up. That's on me. I should have been looking as to where they were. Right, that's War done. We have one last card to play. It is Strategy. It's 2 Influence. So you can see that at the top there. So we get to choose where we're going to do that. Now, his war score is back down to 2. We've got 3 on one side. This is going to allow us to claim things. I just don't know if there's a point in claiming things. As in on this board at the top here. It's going to allow us to build another PDS. That might not be the worst shout. This one allows us to build a War Sun. I think we should go for that. Okay, I'm going to go on the war board. I'm not going to make the same mistake as we made. So on the war board, we can now cross off 2 of these to build a PDS. So we now can build you in, and let's build you here. Okay, so we've got 4 this side, 3 this side. That's those 2 done. We roll the dice. Okay. Oh, I'll just turn one of these dice over, bear with me. Okay, so over here we have 1 of these, so he's back up to 3 strength. We have 1 of these, so he's up to Now this needs to be crossed out. He's up to 2 votes. And he's got one of these, which he continues to head towards the war tracker. The war track is build 6 non-infantry units. We've built 1, 2, 3, 4 at this moment in time. So we might well cross that off before we can get there, unfortunately. That's those done. I don't have any of those dice to spend yet. I should really be focusing on that. We chose war, right? So we can build another one of these. And maybe we do. This would give us our faction, which is build a space dock or free captive icons. I think we're going to do that. Let's build our PDS here. That means I get to cross off a population for the first time. So I was using these two to do that. That's all of our PDSs built, unless we get a resource. I can spend one of these to start building a Dreadnought. I think it's worthwhile, so I'm going to cross you out. We're going to start working towards that. That goes over here. I do have one more. I'm going to spend our trade resource to put you in preparation. Is that... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that at all. Because the next time we activate, we might get it, and therefore it's not really worth it. Okay, next one is strategy. We get 3 of these. Now we might do it. Now we might do it. Do I keep going war? Don't know if I do. Okay, I'm going to go exploration. So we're going to spend 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we're going to roll the dice. Remember, we've got our relic over here that we can use. We got 1 of each. Oh, that's bad news. So he crosses off the warfare. Oops. He crosses off the warfare 1. When he does that, we actually take the warfare card and we flip it over. Now, the best we can score is 4 points. He crosses off the thing up here is up to 3 votes, and he crosses this off, is up to 4. So at this moment in time, it's going to draw this one. We're going to win this one. Okay, so we need to be careful on that. We're going to roll these dice. We got these 3. More exploration for us. Okay. The fact that we haven't got any space docks yet is disappointing. We can get them using our relic, our faction ability, which we can get here. The only way we can get another relic from this sheet is up here. Okay. I'm not sure what these icons give. I think they must give you an extra +1 in a war. I'm guessing. Which might be good. Might be the difference between where we are right now and where we end up. So we've got 3 explorations and 1 explorer if I spend a trade good. Okay, let's do 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And then I'm just going to look up that symbol. I'm assuming it's +1 to your war score, but doesn't actually show us. Is it on here? Gain 1 strength during each war, the indicated neighbour. So it could be really useful to get that. But if we get a planet, we get to draw 1 captive icon. Okay, that's pretty good actually. So let's do this. We're going to get you using our trade icon. That allows us to do this, which is we can draw a thing on it. So I'm going to put a C here. Then I'm going to cross off that C immediately, and I'm going to circle this one. That gives us an extra score over here in our war, which again puts us back ahead of where we were. That's that one. We have production. So claim 1 on industry for each unlocked. We only get 1, so we get a trade good back. That's that one done. Then we have the border defense. So this is 2 claiming on these cards. That does give us one of these special symbols. We can assume he's going to get stronger again in the war, which will put him back level with us on this side, which is the Dreadnought, which we'd really like, actually. Where we've expanded to isn't great for claiming, I will say that. Although getting some extra resources could be pretty good. I don't really know where I'm going. I could start getting things on this board. No, we know the next one could be votes or it could be war. Not really much I can get over here either. I've barely done anything other than build war units and I didn't win the war. I suck. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to claim you for one of these. That allows us to do our special ability, which is capture one, draw 1 captive icon. You can either build 1 space dock or draw a total of 3 captive icons on any sheets. Having the captive icons on one of here will allow us to explore again and then capture something else. That might not be the worst option. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to put a C here. I'm going to put a C here, and I'm going to put a C here. So that's that one done. So that was 1 claim. Then going to cross out a C to explore, and I'm going to explore this way, and then I'm going to claim you, which gets me to, when you claim a planet, draw 1 captive icon on each sheet. Each sheet can have up to 5 captive icons. I'm going to put that here again. And then captive icons can only be used as explore or explore. So maybe I'll get rid of you. And I'm going to put you on the industry board. It just gives us something to play around with. Okay, we have to roll some dice. Here we go. Ugh. He's continuing down these tracks and leaving us with nothing. Right, so when we get to the end of this track, he gets 1 of these. We haven't rolled that once yet. He gets 1 of these. So he's up to 5 on the war score. And he gets 1 of these. He's up to 4 on the votes. He's going to beat us on everything. We suck. We really suck. Okay. And to make it worse, this is what we rolled, right? And that's on this sheet here. We get to explore some more. Okay, let's go 1, 2, and 3. That's it. We're heading up towards at least Mechatol Rex. Next, don't be war, don't be war, don't be war. It's war. It's war. What is it good for? Okay, so he's at 5 strength. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus our 1. So we've got 5 here. So this is another draw. And then we've got 6, 7 over here. So we get to take a faction action. That faction action is either build a space dock or put 3 captive icons on the thing. I am going to build a space dock finally. Let's take you. And then I get to mark you on a sheet. I'm going to mark you on this sheet over here because we need to get some more resources. Okay, the war is done. We got one thing. Okay, we turn over the next card. The next card is strategy. We get 1 research. I am going to use that to claim something. I think I need to get some claiming going on. I am going to claim you. So we cross you off. I need more votes, ultimately, is where I'm coming from here. Okay, so that's that done. We roll the dice. At the end of any round, for each space dock you have built, cross out the next commodity. Yeah, so we'll use that, but we've just got no space docks at the moment. Okay, you, and you come over here. So that goes into this one. That goes up here. Is at 4 strength already. And this one is up to 5 votes. I don't think we've had the vote yet. We're in serious trouble when we have the vote. We're only going to have 2. Okay. And we get to, on the industry, spend these. So we need to cross out a thing over here. So let's put 1 here. So that's 1 of you. We can circle that, which gives us another vote, which is good. Still not enough, mind you. Maybe we have had the vote, I'm not sure. So that was that one. Can use this C to gain you, I think. So we can cross that out, and I've got no way of getting a ring, so I'm going to cross you out. Okay. Did I use this? Don't know if I did. Yeah, I claimed this and this, right? Which I couldn't have done if I didn't have that. Okay, that's us done, I think. Next card is the Council. We're in serious trouble. What era are we in? The 3rd or the 4th? The 3rd era. Okay, we're in serious trouble with this one. We're getting the weak one. Okay, so we have each player crosses out 1 asset in each commodity row in the industry chart. Okay, so we'd lose 1 victory point. Each player claims 1 trade good on industry for each war they have won, which would be 1. Okay, neither are great. Okay, so let's have a think about what we're doing here. We have 3 votes. You know what? I'm just going to take the hit, I think, because I can't win. He's got 5 of the bloody things. Okay, I'm just going to take the hit. So we're going to cross out these. Okay, we don't get any victory points if we get there. That's bad news, but we should be able to win the next one, right? Oh, we only got 3 votes, sorry. That one's crossed out. Okay, next card. Era 4 is this one. I'm not getting any closer to building this Dreadnought. Okay, I'm going to go back over on this board. I think we get to claim 2. So let's claim this ring here, which gets us a trade good. And let's... Okay, I'm going to put 1, I'm going to use our luxury good, trade good over here, to cross out this one, and I'm going to circle this, which will get us a blue die, and I'm going to immediately use that on this page. would I be better? No, I'm going to immediately use it on this page. So that goes there, and we roll the dice. Okay, one each for him. So this one goes down here. This one goes up here. This one goes here. Is up to 5 strength. We've got nothing at the moment. And we got 2 of these and 1 of these over here. So we can cross out you and claim... Oh, I didn't need to cross out you. Hold on. We'll claim you, which gets us another vote. And I'm gonna... So what did I claimed 1, right? So I get to cross out 2. I'm going to cross out you. And I'm going to cross out you, I think. Okay, that's them done. Please don't be a war, please don't be a war, please don't be a war. It's a war. Crap. So we have nothing up here for our war. We've got no strength whatsoever. So we're getting this one and we're getting this one. I should have been drawing these lines in across. We got nothing for these. That's bad. The war came so fast. Okay, so we lose victory points. We don't get any chances of getting these. That sucks. Oh, hold on. When we won a war, we could have put a captive icon on some sheets. I'm going to put 2 over here and 1 over here, I think. Okay. Right, next we have desperate measures. So 3 materials. Let's come over and start building for our last war, I think. So, do I have to... I think I deploy after the line has been drawn above the line. I don't think they have to be adjacent after that. Let's just see. Warfare. The shape can be rotated, flipped. The entire shape must be above the deployment line. Yeah, so we've drawn the deployment line in, which is this one here. So it must be above that. So we can spend 1 of these and 1 of these Cs to build a Dreadnaught. Let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. I've gone a little bit too far. Okay, so that's our Dreadnaught built. I could go for another one. I'm going to go for another one. Do I do it this way? I guess I can do it here, right? I can circle you, come down here because it's adjacent, and go there. So there's another one built. We get a population for that. We are not scoring very many victory points here. We're a war nation and we've won no wars. This sucks. Okay. So that's 2 of those spent. 3 of those spent, right? I used 2 of those spent. I get to spend 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've now got 4 points for doing the objective. So I'm going to write that in there. And we should check any of those. Scrap 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So no. Cross out all resources on free planets. No chance. Claim 5 planets. No chance. We've got 2. Okay. So we've got 1 more to spend. I guess we just keep going down this track, right? I think I cross you out anyway. And we'll hold off for now. So that's that. We roll the dice. Okay, we've got a double. We've got a double. And we've got a double. Interesting. Okay. And we rolled... Oh, I wonder if I didn't use the green die on the last time we were exploring. I don't think I did. Rubbish. We don't have any Space Sister docking dice or focus dice over here. We've got 1 of each. So we can spend you and you on another Dreadnaught. And that's what we're going to do. I think you can beat us in a war, mate. Don't know where I'm going to put it. I guess I put it over here. Okay. And then I guess I just put an infantry down, which we'll put here. Okay. So his war strength is currently 4. We're well over that and well over that here as well. That's those done. We turn over the next one. The next one is production. So our trade goods come over here. We've only got 2 of them. That's that done for that turn. The next one is strategy, and it's a research. Where the hell are we going to spend that? I'm going to spend it over here, I think. We're going to claim. We are going to claim you, which counts as 2 of these, which is nice. And then we roll the dice. Oops. Let's pick them all up, that helps. Okay, 1 green, so that's worth 2 greens. 1 of these. So he's back ahead on votes, I think. Oh no, we're okay on votes for the moment. And then 1 of these. So we've got 6 power in this war, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're tied again. God damn you. Okay, and we got these. Now we get to spend those over here. So I think I'm going to cross you out. And I'm going to claim you. So we get another 1 of these. And I'm going to... Did I spend this? Don't know if I did. Was that cross already there? I might have just drawn it in, so I'm going to spend that. Can't put 1 there. Could put 1 down here. Okay, I'm going to put you... I could get this green die. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the green die, and I'm going to put it... I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm just going to put it over here. I don't know how many I can... You know what? I'm going to put it over here. Okay, that's that done. Next card is Council. Okay, so we circle all of our votes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you have 5 as well. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're in this phase. So we take this card, we put our speaker card down, and we take this one because it's got a little dot on it, and we put this here. So on expansion, each player crosses out all unclaimed assets on one planet. They must choose an unlocked planet. Okay, we've only got 2. I do have a planet I could cross out that I haven't been. And then on industry, each player spends 1 free luxury for each +1 icon they currently have. On industry, each player spends 1 free trade good for each +1 trade good they have. That's only 2, so it's not that important to us. And I don't know if crossing these out matters too much to us. So I'm going to play, I'm going to vote with 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves us with 2, but he could draw or beat us, depending on what the roll of this dice is. It's 0, so we win this one. So on industry, we get to cross out, spend 1 free trade good for each icon. So I think we have to spend it on here. So we can do anything over here. Spend you. Let's grab... I've only got 2 to spend. Let's grab you, which gets us another 1. I can't spend it because we didn't have it at the time. And I'm going to cross you out so we can get another vote. Oh no, I think that was the last vote. That's probably not needed. Let's cross you out so we can get these 2. Okay, that's that one done. That can go back over there. They can go over there. We turn over the next card. We're into section 5. As soon as we get 1 for war, we're done. So his war score is 6. I think we have to spend this on war. I don't think we've got choice. So we're going to cross out these 3. and build a Dreadnought, sorry, a cruiser. Okay, so that's those 3 done. Then I'm going to spend one of these as this. Deploy 2 infantry. Each infantry must be adjacent to another unit. So I'm going to put you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 1. So I'm going to put it over here. Have I actually achieved any of these, and has he? Have I scrapped 10 spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only 8 over here, so I can't do that one. I've done the Armada. Cross out all resources on free planets, nowhere near it. Claim free planets, I'm nowhere near it. Okay, that's done. We need to roll some dice. Here we go. Okay, we've got 2 of each of the red and the blue, and then 1 green, which actually counts as that. He's done the expansion one. We can flip this over. We're nowhere near doing it anyway. I still need to get Mechatol Rex, which will be at least some victory points and some votes. So we have, what board were we on? I think we were on the war board, right? Now I don't necessarily need these anymore. Okay. I mean, he can still get stronger, so can't use these for anything other than infantry, and that's what we'll do. We'll put 1 here, 1 here, and then we'll spend another 1 on infantry. You know what, I'll just cross this off. If we can get there before the war, then fine. I don't think we can. That's that done. This might be the war card. We have special. This round ends immediately. The game will have 1 more strategy event. I don't know what that means. I guess we just get rid of that, right? That must mean the next one's war, I guess. I don't know, strategy, and then we've got war. So we've got 2 of these. I think we're winning the war for now. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so he can't catch us on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he can't catch us on that. So we can cross other things out that are going to score us some points. I keep forgetting to use this. Let's do industry, I think. Although we're never going to get points. I guess if I get more votes, I can get points. So I can't claim you because you're not next to anything. I'm going to use a trade good to put an X in here. I'm going to claim you for 1 of these. That gets us another vote. Not that we need it, but it is getting us closer towards that. I'm then going to spend another trade good to put an X in here and circle this one, which gets us this, which gets us 4 victory points. Not sure that was what we needed, but that's what we've got. Okay, so we've got to roll the dice. Let's do that. We have a double over here. We have a single war, so he's up to 8 war. And we have a single vote, so he's up to 6 votes. Doesn't really matter. What do we get? So we did industry, so we get this one. I keep forgetting to use these dice, so I apologise, everyone. So we're down here. How do we get more victory points? We don't really. We're miles away from them. I guess if we go for yellows, we'll get victory points. Could get my relic ability, which is... Oh, actually, we can use our relic as well, which I've been covering up. You may play this relic at the end of any round for each space dock you have built across. I didn't even go for Mechatol Rex. I'm an idiot. For each, you may place this relic at the end of a round for each space dock you have built. Cross out the next commodity of any type on the industry chart. Then build 1 space dock and deploy 1 war sun. Why wouldn't I have used that? Okay. Why wouldn't I have used that? What a moron. My faction ability is either build 1 space dock or draw a total of 3 captive icons. Okay, well look, we've got 2 of these to use, so I'm going to claim you. That's 1 done. Well, these are all claims. Oh, crap. Okay, so let's assume we've claimed 1 of these. I'm going to claim you, which crosses off 1 of these. I'm going to claim you, which gets us oh, there's no point. It's going to get us on the vote track, but we're not going to get enough votes to move this along. I'm going to claim you, which gets us along this track here. 1 more of these, if I can do it. Yes, over here. Claim you, that gets us 3 victory points. So that was those 2 and that one, I think. And then we've got 1 explore, which we can do. Sorry, 1 scrap, which we'll put. Don't know if it really matters. And we'll put it here. Okay, so that goes there. The next card is war anyway, so it's all a bit irrelevant. I could now use this card. For each space dock that you have, cross out any type, the next commodity in any type of industry. So I'm going to cross out you, I'm going to cross out you, I'm going to cross out you. Okay, then build a space dock and deploy 1 war sun. So I can't build a space dock. I'm just going to put this over here. Sorry, a war sun. I can't deploy 1 because we don't have the room for it because of the shape. What I can do is build 1, which is 4 victory points. Okay. Next card is war. What is it good for? So with the war, they've got a score of 10 or 8. Sorry, we've got over 8, so we get this. And we get this. Have we scrapped 10 spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have. Nice. So over here we get 7 points because he hasn't got to the industry one just yet. So we get 7 points. We didn't do the resources, we didn't get planets. This is going to be a terrible score, by the way. Let's add these up. So we never got Mechatol Rex, so we don't get any points for that. What do we get over here for victory points? We got 0. I think in exploration, which it tells you to focus on, we get 0 for the objectives, we get 0 for the sheet. Oh no, we got 4 for the sheet down here, right, for the relic. So our total is 4. Okay, not great. Our objective in war for the sheet, we got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, minus 2, so 10. So we get 14 over here. On this one, I don't think we get any. We got 7 for the objective. On the sheet, we got 4. So what's that? 11. Not great, that. Oh no, hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's what? 14. And then over here we've got 2. 2. Just a lowly 2. Okay. So 4 plus 14 is 18. Plus another 14 is 32, 35. We really sucked. We would get points for luxury goods or trade goods, but we used them all. We don't get points for votes. Well. That was not great. Let me just tell you, I think that means we are garbage. The scores down here, if you get 40 points, you're lost in the dark years, or less than 40 points is lost in the dark years. We failed miserably. Look, first game, right? We learned a little bit. We'll get this back. I think missing these rolls where I had the extra dice was criminal, really. But there you go. We'll be back with another episode of this, I'm sure. We'll play a different race. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to get this to the table with multiple people. I'm not excited to teach it. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, hold on a second. We had 3, 4. So what did I say over here was 14? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 over here, plus 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23. That makes a huge difference. We might not be the lowest score. 23. So 23 plus 4 is 27. 27 plus 4 is 31. 31 plus 14 is 45. Plus 2 is 46. We're not the waste of space that we thought we are. We're still garbage, but bear in mind we played it on easy. We have a footnote in Galaxy history. Not much, but there you go. We did it. Thank God for that. Right, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. Let me know what I got wrong. I'm sure there's lots of bits and pieces that I did get wrong. I quite enjoyed this though. It's quite nice playing with the war one. I did a Patreon play where we were kind of on the industry side. Getting the balance right is key, obviously, and I'm nowhere near that. Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon.